Welcome, everyone. It's the cryptolark. I'm super excited to have on today a very special guest, Akon. He is a Grammy-nominated, multi-platinum award-selling artist, producer, entrepreneur, philanthropist, and we're going to be not talking so much about his music career today, though, because Akon is well known for being a philanthropist and a social entrepreneur. So we're going to be talking a bit about his upcoming cryptocurrency project called Ecocoin and his blockchain-fueled city that he is building in Senegal. Akon, welcome to the show.
No, thanks for having me, man.
Thanks for coming on. I've been tracking your Acoin project for quite a while now, so it's really exciting to actually have the chance to sit down and speak. I remember hearing about it last year at some point. And I just thought, wow, that's cool. That's a cool idea what he's got bringing forward here. But before we dive into Acoin and what's going on with that, I want to talk a little bit about some of your work with your philanthropic history. So you've done lighting Africa with solar energy. So you could just speak a little bit on what that was and why you decided to, spend your energy doing this.
Yeah, so the Akon Lighting Africa project was an initiative where we went into the rural areas of certain parts of Africa and just gave light to the villagers out there. We realized just how much the energy poverty in Africa was just tremendous. Like 80% of the continent was black at night, and we wanted to be able to do something about it. But it all stems from me doing a concert, and then the energy went out in the middle of the concert, so it kind of fueled me to say, okay, now something has to be done. But ultimately, that started from that, and then it eventually turned into a for-profit business because of the need being so vast. And now we're not only on Africa doing philanthropic and a for-profit energy utility business there, but we're also branched in America as well too, doing here.
Wow. Wow. That's really, really cool. It's an interesting catalyst at a concert. Like, we have an energy problem around here, guys. We got to have a serious conversation about that. And now that's not the only thing you've been up to. You've also been doing a charity for underprivileged children called Confidence Foundation. So you can talk a little bit about that as well.
Yeah, so the Confidence Foundation is actually ran by my mom. She's like the head one in charge when it comes to that. And that one, what we do, we go into African areas and villages, where same areas where we're doing the lights, and we find the school there, and we remodel the schools, make it a lot more comfortable for the kids to be able to come and learn and do basic things there. And then, of course, we give it a whole new makeover, air conditioning, desks, furniture. We give them school supplies. We give them the flat screen TVs with the Microsoft, components added to it to where they can do video chat from a university in the United States at the same time, giving the same course somewhere in a village in Africa. So we create a huge educational infrastructure there for them. And we also give out scholarships as well too for the of course the highest scoring students to be able to go abroad for education, or even fly students from America to be able to explore it over in Africa as well.
Nice. That's amazing. That's absolutely amazing work. Now, I wanted to bring these examples up because I really want people to understand that what you're doing with Acoin is not just some aha, I'm going to do a cryptocurrency thing. Like, you've actually been doing really amazing on the ground work, changing people's lives, which is just absolutely amazing stuff. I just want to ask you before we dive in a little bit more to Acoin, what does the idea of being a social entrepreneur actually mean to you?
Well, actually, my definition of social entrepreneurship is pretty much, I mean, obviously, anything entrepreneur, you're going to make money. Like, the whole idea is to make money because you are a businessman. But my difference is that I don't like to get into business that don't make an impact or that doesn't help to uplift or empower people within the process of making good money. You want to be able to empower people and also put them in a position where they can one day make good money and be able to feed their families in the process.
Nice. Nice. I love it. It's so much more than just say, oh, we're just going to throw some money at some problem somewhere. It's actually empowering people saying, hey, we're going to create a business. You can be part of this business too. I think it has such a
Right.
greater impact.
Right.
Now, let's talk about Acoin a little bit. So, can you just give me the basic idea here for anyone who hasn't really heard about Acoin? I've talked about it a few times here on the channel, but what is Acoin?
Well, Acoin is pretty much, you could say, it's an alternative to a stable currency in up and coming, you could say, third world countries that don't really have a stable currency or a trusted currency for that matter. But Africa in particular, because the continent is so big and it's really is filled with under like 80% almost of the population is under 21, and they're all tech, and super tech savvy and very, you could say, foregoing to the latest technologies when it comes to money transaction and things of that nature. But ultimately, we're living within currencies that aren't really trusted, aren't really stable, and there's a lot of corruption going on through African governments. And we felt like having our own currency that we can trust, that's going to be stable, and that's running through a blockchain system that gives you that security that could delete the corruption altogether, will definitely give the tool for the continent to be able to develop in the right way without it being, of course, extorted in a way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. It's Africa is such an interesting place for cryptocurrencies because there's more than 50 different countries on the continent. There's, 2 dozen or so different fiat currencies. There's a couple bigger ones, but there's all these different fiat currencies. Some of the fiat currencies across the continent have had spectacular failures. The Zimbabwean currency is a great example of a currency that just people could not trust it, just totally just erased people's life savings, right? And so the idea of a
Yeah.
trans-border stablecoin is very, very interesting and powerful for the continent.
Right, and you want to be able to utilize that currency when you leave the continent. I think one of the major turning points that made me say, okay, this has to happen is when I took the African franc, which is the CFL. I went to France and I was trying to get it transferred over into euros, and they said, unfortunately, we can't. I said, why not? They said, well, it's not worth nothing in France. I'm like, well, you French made this money for us. You mean to tell me that's not worth nothing? I can't even trade it in France. You know what I mean? So I was like, yeah, we got to create on. And that's when crypto came on board, and I was like, oh, this is the future right here.
And so the A coin, I guess it's going to be what kind of a stable coin. Is there any particular currency you're pegging it to? Is it going to be to euros or to dollars, or is it going to have its own kind of free floating value within, the local context?
Yeah, it's its own free floating value throughout its own local context. I think the people will create the value more so than anything because we're going to attach this coin to everything that people need on a day-to-day basis and utilize it. Because one thing I realized is the currency is so unstable. Basic, fiat currencies throughout Africa are so unstable now. Where people are using basic cell phone credits and minutes to be able to trade within the market. They're not even using money anymore. They're using their cell phone minutes to do it. And even within the Acoin system, we've created what you call the atomic swap that allows you to take those cell phone minutes and then turn it into currency. So we've kind of found out ways to where we can incorporate this currency all throughout the basic everyday lives of the people there.
That's that's crazy. People are using minutes like currency. I mean, that tells you everything you need to know about how important it is to actually see cryptocurrency coming in this local context. Now, the project we were just talking about the swapping of minutes for money. That's actually with your new partner, BitMinutes, right?
Right, right, absolutely. So BitMinutes, of course, as you know, they're huge in Africa. They've been around for a long time. They're literally connected to billions of phones in Africa. So, the connectivity within their infrastructure and database, along with our technology and our knowledge of what the people need and what could be valuable to them, I think makes a great partner for us.
Nice. So, what we're really talking about is something that's going to be available for the whole continent. Because I know that we're going to get to the city in a couple minutes here, but I know that the city's being specifically built in Senegal, but that, the Acoin project, you've got this really continental view for it.
Right. So the Economic part is continental. Obviously, Africa was the best place that we felt we should cater it towards, because if it could survive in Africa with all the challenges there, then it could survive anywhere in the world. But it also be a great, you can say, a product for all the other developing countries as well. But more so than anything, when it comes to the city itself, Senegal was used because Senegal is the perfect destination for tourists, a place that's never been conflicted or ever had any kind of issues, and it's been stable forever, no conflicts whatsoever. But then it's only 6.5 hours from any place in the world, whether it's Dubai, the UK, France, the United States, Morocco, South Africa. Like, it's a direct, connecting hub. But we also felt that it could be the perfect, you can say, like idea for what the rest of Africa could feel like. So this is
Mm.
just a build in Africa that we can copy and paste throughout the continent as far as the icon cities.
Nice, nice. Now, you've decided to build on top of Stellar. So this was announced recently that Acoin will be running on top of Stellar. So why did you there's so many blockchains out there, right? Ethereum and EOS and all these guys. Why did you choose Stellar over the others?
Well, Stellar had a lot of great initiatives that aligned with ours. Africa was definitely one of their initiatives to be able to, be fully engulfed and entertained within that system there. But we had a lot of the same ideas. We literally was moving along the same lines of what we wanted for Acoin and what they were trying to do in the continent. They made the perfect partners. So once me and Jed kind of connected, we literally like linked up and like synced immediately. Like, he clearly gets it, and I felt like he would be the right partner for us.
Nice. Yeah, he's an OG in the space without a doubt. He's been involved in crypto for a very, very long time, and I think Stellar has got a lot of interest from the community for some of the different projects that they've been launching around the world. And obviously, this is a whole next step, right? To see a currency like this coming, to Africa. So very exciting.
Yeah,
Now,
man. I'm super excited.
I want to talk on a little bit. What other projects do you actually see working with Akon? I mean, the Bitminutes announcement, I think that was very exciting because it is such a big provider of mobile services across Africa. But what other partners are you looking for? What other projects do you see, working with Acoin?
Well, we've just partnered up with the World Food Bank, and as you know, they're one of the biggest, agriculture distributors all throughout the world. And we felt that food obviously is one of the biggest outside of water that we need to basically survive. And with Acorn, we want to attach ourselves to things that people need and are like necessities every single day. Of course, obviously food and agriculture, development and infrastructure, education, healthcare, things that people just need every single day. And of course, once your basic vitalized, your world is moving naturally, then of course all the other things that entertain you and things, all the accessories that come with life, we'll be attaching ourselves to. But we want to just be able to make sure that people can live a comfortable life. So we want to attach things that actually allow you to live a good life like that.
Cool, cool. Definitely, yeah, to see it really just become a currency of use, right? I think that's probably one of the far visions is actually just get people using it and they're going to figure out what to use it with.
Utilize it.
That's it. That's it. Now, I want to talk a little bit more about, Akon City, if you will. So, you mentioned a little bit about why you're choosing to build it in Senegal, but what is the vision of this city? I mean, describe for me what you see this city actually, being.
Right. I mean, it's to me, it's the futuristic city of the world because if you look at all the major cities around the world, I mean, you can go everywhere from Dubai, you can go to Malaysia, all these places where everything is pretty much built out. They're all being built from resources and minerals and products coming out of Africa. And I know for sure that Africa has the capabilities to build a city that really can be accepted and integrate with all the latest technologies built because it was African resources that was used to build it. So I felt it wouldn't be right to build a city without building it to its most futuristic potential, especially when we have all the resources that can allow it to happen. And we can cut costs in so many ways as well too. But ultimately it gives the people something proud to look forward to and look at Africa in a different light. Because right now Africa is so always looked at as the historical side of Africa when you're mentioning slaveries and jungles and things of this nature, when Africa is so much more beyond that.
That's so basically like the Dubai of Africa is what we're talking about here. This shining city coming up out of kind of nothing, right? So that's really
Right.
exciting.
Exactly.
That's cool.
Absolutely.
That's it. Just the the vision and the I think the willpower to actually get something like this done is just incredible. And I think it just goes back to speak to your overall career of achievement, where you've gone and just reached the absolute heights of your music career, and now
Right.
you're able to do these amazing things with the influence and the willpower and entrepreneurship skills you've gained over time with that. So it's definitely an amazing idea. And now I want to understand, how is Acoin, I guess, going to play a role in this futuristic city?
Well, I mean, my goal is for that Acoin, our coin, to be the dominant currency within the city itself. Ultimately, we want to be able to give them products they can utilize this coin for. And I think within the city, it gives you every product you can need on a day-to-day basis to be able to utilize this coin. And eventually, actually, it'll branch out into the rest of the city. Before you know it, the whole of Africa will be, accustomed to it.
It's kind of the epicenter of where it's going to start at, and then moves out from there. Nice, I like it.
It'll give, right. It'll give you a great sense of the use of it, the power of it, and what it and how much it actually could be beneficial within your everyday life.
And now, what's the progress of the city now? How long before I can hop on a plane and come and hang out at Akon City and you spend some Acoin there?
Oh yeah, well that'll be a few years. I say by the next 2 3 years you should be able to do that because we'll be in stage two by then. By the time we complete stage one, you'll definitely be able to come, live, eat, enjoy, entertain yourself within the city. But right now we're at our very early stages. We just acquired the land. We have the technicians there now doing all the feasibility studies, and we're currently completing the master plan of the overall city and how it's going to look and feel once it's complete. But in a few months, towards maybe the end of April, I should have actually the full comp of what the city's going to fully look like. We'll have a DVD rendering, or in this case, a streaming rendering that we'll be able to post on YouTube so you can see it in real time as to how it's going to look when it's finished.
Wow, wow, that's a lot of different skills are coming into play here. I can only imagine what it takes to actually, bring together the resources and the people to build a new city just out of scratch, right? Because the land that you got, this is just basically, vacant land that the president of Senegal said, "Yep, take that, use that, build your
You
future
know,
city there."
yeah, it's straight land, bought and paid for. The government is actually sponsoring their services to make sure the regulation is all there, make sure we go through about all the right, proper, of course, diligence to make sure that everything is done properly within it. And then they'll be there also to help with the basic infrastructure, to make sure that the roads are built within the city itself and things like that.
Nice. That's very, very exciting. Now, what's next for Acoin? I know we've got different partners and things you're working with, and obviously the city is a few years out before people can actually start to come and visit it. But what's next for Acoin? Where's it going from here?
Well, from here we're launching. Our white paper just we're delivering that today, so I'm super super excited, so people can really get an idea of what this coin is, what it represents, what we plan for it to be, and then of course towards the mid-April, I'll be doing some very intricate announcements and exclusive announcements and celebrations towards this Acoin being launched, and eventually the IPO will be announced very soon as well. So I'm super excited about that.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Definitely. Definitely, I'll put the links down below in the comment section there in the description for everyone to go and find out more information about Acoin, of course, if you want to read the white paper and stuff and, engage a bit more with actually what they're doing and kind of the vision behind it. Definitely go check that out. But I want to, just as a final question here for you today, you're this amazing entrepreneur who you've done so much and, you've reached the heights of music career and done this amazing philanthropic work and stuff like this. So what would be your advice for young entrepreneurs out there who want to have an impact in the world?
I think the impact it starts with you. You got to first want to see better for other people. I think sometimes we live in a world where we think about ourselves a lot more than we think about others, not realizing when everything around you is comfortable, it automatically reflects comfort on yourself. And I thought, if you can just be in a position where every move that you make empowers or makes someone else's life better, it only creates a better environment for yourself. I think it's a way of being selfish, but the opposite version. Help others, and that right there is going to help you no matter where you go. Because I'm in a position now where I feel like helping others allowed me to be able to go anywhere in the world and be treated like a king. And not only that, but everything I ever wanted, it always came from people that I helped in the past. So it always found its way to come back to me. Ultimately, when you just focus on yourself, when you're in that position where you're down and out, no one cares because you only cared about yourself. But when you help to empower others, and you'll never ever fall because the people that you're empowering will always be there to support you. You know.
There you go, guys. That's some good life knowledge right there. Akon, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule. Sit down, talk a little bit about Acoin with us. It's a very exciting project. Again, for everyone out there in the audience, there's more info down below in the description. So, Akon, thank you so much.
Nah, Lark, thank you, man. I appreciate you, buddy.
Thank you.
You got it.